And now we're back from our commercial break. So Roman, wasn't that last segment interesting?
Yes, it was, but our next segment is even more appealing to the eye: graffiti.
Roman, isn't that illegal?
Well, technically it is, but there's been tons of court cases recently, such as the 1986 case with Tilted Arc. But when you look at it as freedom of expression, it can be interpreted a little bit differently.
I guess you have a point. Let's just give the spotlight over to reporter Tess to interview one of the most famous street artists we can get in touch with.
Good idea, Sam. So, reporter Tess, who are we meeting today?
Well, Roman, I was actually able to get in touch with Banksy. He only agreed to meet in a secluded area like this one. Then, later on in the show, we'll be switching it over to reporter Tim to interview the Philly Man. So, Banksy, I just want to start off by saying thank you for being so willing to meet with us and share publicly the importance of graffiti. It really means a lot to our show.
I believe the world deserves to know why street art is important. That's why I'm here with you.
Alright, well, let's get started. Why is street art so important to you?
Well, growing up in England was different. I don't talk about my past much with anyone, but growing up I was always silenced. I began to hate being told to keep my opinion to myself. I needed to express however I felt, whether people knew it was me who was saying it or not. I also began to hate how society doesn't notice a lot of harsh realities, like the negative effects of technology or how wars affect society and the world. I love art. I think a museum is a bad place to look at art though. So I resorted to the streets. I wanted people to see what I expressed. I wanted people to look. What better is the place for people to notice you than work in a city?
That's a good point you make. In New York City, there's 18.7 million people living there and 56.5 million people that visited the city last year. A lot of people walk outside to see your art on buildings, and so far, you've been successful. People do look and think about the points that you're making.
Exactly. This is why I moved to New York City. I thought it was time for America to see my work. I want Americans to pass my work, stop, stare at it. I want them to take it in. American society is based on everything moving so quickly. No one stops to say what they think or feel. Americans, along with many societies, just go along with what other people say and do. Street art is about expression, whether it's personal, political, or social expression. It's about making people think and realize what our society has come to. Do you think that art in a museum gets that many people to stopping and thinking about what kind of stuff society is? No. Because people don't want to stop and think like that because it scares them.
Wow, I really think that's a powerful point you're trying to make.
Thank you.
So I understand that freedom of expression is really important to you, but my question is, I guess, is what if we didn't choose to express those deep thoughts that come out in your art? Why is it so important to express those topics to you?
What if you just went through a bunch of problems in life? What if your dog died and you just got divorced and your sister moved away and stopped talking to your parents all at once? Life still moves forward, right? You can begin to cover up that you're broken inside just so you don't fall behind in life. But you can only hide reality for so long. Eventually, you will crack. If people don't face the harshness of reality, and in society, we all crash and burn. We cannot hide from reality. You need to stop and express it and face it in today's problems.
What if you get caught? Aren't you afraid?
If someone wants to throw me in jail for the harsh realities of freedom of expression, go ahead. I paint the outside of areas that I believe need a voice. I don't go vandalizing Wall Street or the Trump Tower. If anyone were to throw me in jail, it wouldn't be for where I worked. It would be because they do not like what I have to say. If that's the case, catch me if you can, but I doubt you will.
Well, one more question for today. What is your favorite piece of artwork that you've done and why?
I don't really have a favorite. All my work is a part of who I am and what I believe. But I guess I like my more recent one titled Mobile Lovers. We don't see that everyday society is engulfed in technology. I was out the other night at a bar, and there was a couple on a date, and all they could do was stare at their phones. They were only interested in whatever was on their phones, so they couldn't give each other a chance to get to know each other. It made me want to scream. So instead of making a big scene, I made a point through the night. My point caught on quickly. Society needs to put down their phones every once in a while and look at life. Maybe more people will notice my other work that way.
Good point.
Yeah. I also like my work that says a point through my sarcasm and irony. I am kind of a smart ass.
Aren't we all from time to time? You have to be in today's society. Anyways, thank you, Banksy, for meeting me today for a segment. It really meant a lot to our show, like I said before.
No problem.
So wasn't that interesting?
See, don't you get the point of graffiti now?
It makes more sense on why people want to paint the cities. I have to say, I never understood it before. Banksy's work is incredible.
And now let's go to reporter Tim, who's with the Philly Man, the man who brings the art of Philly to life. Tim?
Thank you, Roman. Today we are here with the Philly Man, as Roman said. He'll be kind enough to answer some of my questions, so we can really capture how street art impacts American society. So, Philly Man, tell us, what do you want to say about street art? And why is it so important to you in society?
Well, Tim, art keeps the environment alive. It's a constant reminder that we have people here. It reminds us of the little things. It makes us think, wow, someone took the time to paint that or make that. How long has it been there? How long have I been walking past not noticing it? Street art is a small detail in a busy life. It is something that enables us to express how we feel and what you see or believe in society. It lets people share their ideas with the crazy world. I got into street art as a little boy. I grew up right outside Philly. As a kid, I would always go into Philly, admire all the little different murals and art that was there. I loved it. I wanted to put my voice up on buildings too, so I did. Philadelphia is an art colony along with the rest of the world. It has been there since the beginning of time with cavemen, and it will continue to be this way. Art is supposed to surround us. I think that since society has taken a lot of nature, it is important to express art in cities and other places to keep nature of people alive.
Yes, but also, how has street art transformed our society for the better?
Well, I know that many people have began coming to Philly to see its street art. It has made it a tourist destination for those reasons. People have come from all over to see the murals and the mosaic gardens and all of its art because of the meaning and beauty it brings. It doesn't just help Philadelphia's economy, but it brings people together to slow down and think about the meaning of all the art.
Very powerful. Now, have you ever considered moving your work to New York City or any other city?
Never. I wouldn't be called the Philly Man if I did so, would I? Other than growing up here, Philly, and painting there all my life, I see it as a historical place. This is where a lot of America was founded. I want my work to go down in history. I want people to come to Philly to see the Liberty Bell and all of its historical sites, but also to look at the art around the city that shows the evolution of our society.
That's really awesome. I see your point there. Finally, I know that you really believe in street art affecting America, but how do you think it affects the world?
Graffiti in America has the same effect as it does in Europe, in South America, and Asia, and anywhere else in the world. It is a form of human expression. It is a way to get people to stop, look, and think. It brings people together in such a busy world, and it enables us to not be so afraid of showing what we believe. For once, we don't have to hide what we believe. We can paint it or sculpt it or build it in cities for everyone to see and interpret anywhere. And when people visit these cities around the world, they will see your work. It's deep. And it will even be there when you're not.
Thank you so much again, Philly Man.
Of course.
Well, Roman and Sam, now that we've heard from two famous artists of our area, I'll send it back to the studio.
Thanks, Tim. That was great. Really inspirational and eye-opening.
I agree. And recently, graffiti has been becoming more and more wide known and meaningful. It is no longer some crazy teens painting stupid stuff at night. It shows meaning to society today, which is really cool.
Good point, Sam. Well, there you have it, viewers. Street art is a really good thing. It shouldn't be vandalism. It's an expression of art in American society and the rest of the world today. There is freedom of expression and speech in America, and this is a beautiful way to show it, which will be left for future generations to see and learn from.
Yep. And now, stay tuned, viewers, for our next segment on local teens spray paint f***ing Izzy on their high school turf.